back. How are you feeling so far?
Yeah, good. I mean, it was a long trip, obviously from the Davis Cup with long match on the Sunday, so haven't really hit many balls. I've hit arrived Monday night. I've hit for like an hour and a half since I arrived, and practicing later on today. But it's been good. Been sleeping decent, which is important. And I'll try and get a bit more practice in the next few days to get a bit better used to the conditions. I haven't played outdoors or hit a ball outdoors for like 5.5, 6 weeks, so it's quite different.
So, Andy, it's a few days since Maria Sharapova's announcement. What was your reaction to the news?
Well, I think, the stories like this happen regularly now in sport. It seems like it's almost a weekly occurrence. So I wouldn't say it was shocking, really. But yeah, obviously since then you read about it, try and learn as much as you can about it, and understand what's been kind of going on. And I read that 55 athletes have failed tests for that substance since January the 1st, so it's you just don't expect sort of high level athletes at the top of many different sports to have heart conditions.
So, do you read all the emails sent to you about minor things?
I read all of the stuff that's relevant to me, so if I have to take anti-inflammatories, or if I have a rash on my leg or my skin, then I check to make sure myself, but also the doctor at the LTA, I get him to check first. He's obviously more knowledgeable than me about that stuff, but it's it's quite easy to check yourself.
Do you get a lot of emails from Wilder, or?
I would say they're semi-regularly. I don't know if I wouldn't say it's every month, but definitely every few months. And we also get reminded about the whereabouts program I want to say it's every 3 months. It seems like you get a couple of emails every sort of 3 months about the whereabouts program to make sure we've got that up to date.
But somebody who obviously is a top player yourself, do you think Maria should have been able to catch this herself through her own email inbox, or should somebody else in her team, whether it's a doctor or something, have been also on top of this and looking for it?
I don't know, to be honest. Everyone's obviously different. Some people put a lot of trust in the team around them, so it's hard to say what's the right thing for everyone, but I think sort of it's almost kind of part of our job to know everything that's going into our bodies, and not just rely on what a doctor's saying or a physio's saying. That you check yourself as well to make sure, and double check to make sure that it's that anything that's going into your body is safe.
Have you ever had a similar situation where something you were taking became illegal later?
No.
Andy, you've called in the past for the ITF to do more testing, to put more resources into it. Do you think they are now doing enough? And second part, do you think you are playing against players who are using performance-enhancing drugs?
I hope not, but it's it's impossible to say. I'd say the positive is that with what's happened with Maria is that she's one of the biggest female athletes on the planet, so that it's actually out there. I do find it strange that it's up to the players to disclose that. I would think that it would be better if it was up to the authorities to disclose it. And the first part of the question was,
do you think the ITF is now
doing enough? No, I think all sports can do more. I think that it's better than it was a few years ago. Last year I certainly got tested a lot, but this year I've been tested twice so far this year, and 3 months into the year. Whereas last year, I got tested loads, but this year has only been twice and 3 months into the year, which is clearly not enough.
Was that in competition or out of competition?
One was out of competition just before the Davis Cup, and the other one was after I lost in the Australian Open.
Simon?
And what's your opinion on the use of supplements in tennis? Because a lot of players seem to use them. Do you use many yourself, and what do you think?
Well, in terms of what sort of supplements, like a protein shake or energy drinks or energy gels, or
maybe just rephrase the question. Do you think players are sort of treading a fine line and pushing the limits a little bit with what they can and can't take?
well, I think like taking a prescription drug that you don't necessarily need, but just because it's legal, that's wrong. Clearly, that's wrong. I don't think that's right. But yeah, I mean, I've used protein shakes since I was 18 years old. Energy gels on court, obviously sports drinks when I'm playing. So that's what I would use. Sometimes earlier in my career I used vitamins. Now I do everything through just food. I don't take any vitamins through supplements. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to know. I think if you're taking a prescription drug that you don't actually need for what it's giving you, then that's wrong.
Last three, Alex.
Many of Maria's sponsors have dropped her like a hot potato, but her racket sponsor and your racket sponsor has come out, extended her contract, and given a statement that supports her fully. What's your response to that?
I think it's a strange stance, given everything that's happened the last few days. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say on that, but that's not something I believe in, really. I think at this stage it's important to get all of the facts and let things sort of play out, let more information come out before making a decision to extend a contract like that, in my view.
Would it be fair to say you're disappointed that they responded so quickly in that way?
Yeah, I personally wouldn't have responded like that.
And what do you think that Maria's punishment should be? And also, when it comes to a supplement, if there's no proof that it harms the body, do you think that it should be banned?
Well, like I was saying there, that if you're taking a prescription drug and you're not using it for what that drug is meant for, then you don't need it. So you're just using it for the performance enhancing benefits that drug is giving you, and I don't think that that's right.
That's on suspend or punishment for Maria.
That's not up for me to decide the punishment. But if you're taking performance enhancing drugs and you fail a drugs test, you have to get suspended.
Last one here.
There's an interesting thing with the tour that I think the top four guys are all fathers. And can you talk about your experiences being a father, and also have you talked to the other guys about challenges and things you'll have to do with your father?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to Roger a little bit in Cincinnati about it. I spoke to Novak a little bit. I mean, when we chat to each other, I spoke to him, and obviously in Australia I'd spoken to him about it last year as well. But again, everyone's a bit different, Kim's not, massively into traveling every single week, so, whereas some of the partners on the tour, like traveling, and that works for them. So yeah, it's just about trying to find how it works for you. She's coming to Miami, so that'll be the first trip that my daughter kind of does outside of the UK. So hopefully that goes well, and maybe if it works really well, then we'll be a bit more pumped to travel in the future. But we'll just have to see how it goes in a couple of weeks.
Any advice you give to any other players who are considering taking fatherhood and a career on the tour so far?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's been fine. I mean, it's not easy, obviously, being away from her at the beginning. It's tough, for sure, but yeah, I mean, it's been the best thing that's happened in my life so far, and hopefully that continues. So I certainly wouldn't put anyone off doing it. And yeah, if like I said a few weeks ago, if it doesn't have a positive effect on my tennis, then that's fine. I'm still very glad that I've done it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.